So we will go ahead and get started. All right. All right. So finding our comfortable seat as we begin to settle in and center ourselves. Maybe lifting your hips up on a blanket, maybe taking a hero pose. You can take a supported hero pose sitting on the block. And just finding a comfortable seat as we begin to settle in and center ourselves. Close your eyes and bring your focus inward. Just letting go of any stress or busyness of the day that you may have already encountered. Letting go of any thoughts about what you have to do after your practice today. Just taking this time for yourself. Feeling grateful that you made it to the mat today, no matter how difficult or challenging it may have been to get here. You made it to the mat. Feeling grateful for your physical body and its abilities. As you scan your body, just bringing awareness to any areas of tension or tightness. Feeling grateful for your mental and emotional bodies. As you check in, just noticing, observing your thoughts and feelings. And feeling grateful for your breath. As you bring awareness to your breath, feel your belly expand. Feel your rib cage and your lungs expand. Feel your collarbones lift. And as you exhale, collarbones descend, ribs close in, pulling your navel to get in and slightly up, activating Uddiyana Bandha. And you want to try and maintain this full 3-part breath throughout our practice today, our Durga breath. And as our mind wanders throughout our practice, just noticing those thoughts and letting them go, trying to let go of judgments or attachments. Just coming back to our breath. I am breathing in and I am breathing out. As you continue to lengthen your breath, lengthen your spine, maybe sitting up a little bit taller as you feel lifting up through the crown of your head. Relax your neck and your shoulders and connect to the earth through your sits bones. Feeling grounded, stable, and secure. And then setting an intention or sankalpa for your practice. Just thinking of whatever it is that brings you to the mat today, what you would like to get out of this practice. As you set your intention now, saying it to yourself 3 times. If you have one leg in front of the other, switching sides or finding a different comfortable seat as we begin to connect our movement to our breath. Inhale, sweeping arms up, and exhaling, hands to our heart center in Anjali Mudra. And then reverse that inhale as we lift up, and then exhale, pressing away. Just letting your breath guide your movement as we open up in our chest and our shoulders. Just feeling energy as you move through your arms and your hands. And just taking a few more rounds here. Inhale, happiness, health, peace, all of the things that you want to bring into your life. And as you exhale, just releasing anything negative, anything that is not serving to you, anything you need to let go of. We'll take one more full inhale, full exhale. Inhale as we lift up and then over to the side. Relax your neck and your shoulders. You take your gaze underneath of your arm and then take your gaze down at your hand and looking back up. Inhale, lifting up, and then exhale over to the other side. Again, relax your neck and your shoulders as you look up and then looking down and then looking back up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, gentle twist. As you split your hands, taking one hand to your knee, one hand can reach for the mat behind you. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, taking that twist to the other side. Inhale, lifting up. Let's circle our hands and our wrists and bring them around in front of you, just stretching here in your hands, your wrists, warming them up as we prepare for our downward dog, our plank, our chaturanga flow. And then taking your hands and wrists, circling them in the other direction. Interlace your hands behind your back or reach for your elbows. Inhale, lifting up through heart center. And then exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, brings us up, sweeping arms up overhead. And as we bring our hands to our heart, pausing here in Anjali Mudra, feeling that energy as we come into our heart space. Again, thinking of your intention. And then making our way into our table, onto our hands and our knees. So as we come into our tabletop, just finding a neutral spine. You want to feel that your weight is spread evenly through your hands. So we're taking some pressure off of our wrists, spreading our weight evenly. Your shoulders are over your wrists and your knees are underneath of your hips. Feel the extension in your spine. And then take your right leg straight back. Toes are on the mat at first as you press your heel back. Reaching your left arm out in front. Staying here or continue bringing that right leg up. So spinal balance, lengthening from our fingertips through our heel. We'll take hand and foot, opposite directions. Coming back to center. Lifting up, looking up. Maybe reaching for your foot if that feels accessible for you. And then releasing your hand, step your right foot through, come into a low lunge. And we can just slowly shift forward and back here. Just warming up in our hip flexors, our hamstrings. Let's pause in our low lunge as we reach our right arm up, gentle twist. So staying here, if you want to bring that back knee off of the mat, you can, lifting it up. And then we'll release, taking that right hand back down to the mat. Take your leg back and cross it over, looking in the direction of your foot. And coming back to our table, taking your gaze over your right shoulder. And then back to our neutral spine, switching sides. So left leg extends straight back, toes are on the mat. Reaching your right arm out in front of you, staying here, continue lifting that left leg up. Keep pulling your navel to your spine. That Uddiyana Bandha helps with our stability, strengthening in our core. Let's take our hand and foot opposite directions. Coming back to center, lifting up, looking up, maybe reaching for your foot. And then we'll release as we step our left foot through, coming into our low lunge. And just take a couple of gentle rocks here, forward and back. And then pausing in our low lunge, right hand stays down, left hand reaches up for a twist. Staying here, or maybe bringing that back knee off of the mat. And then releasing that left hand down, take your left leg back, cross it over, look in the direction of your foot. And then back to our table, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. Shifting our weight forward and back a few times. Just feel lengthening through the sides of your body. Pausing in our kneeling plank as you gently drop your hips like you would for upward facing dog. So feeling a nice stretch through the front of your body. And then adding on here as we take a cat back, waving up through that kneeling plank. Elbows hug in, whether it's a lot or a little, and then pressing back into your child's pose. So moving at your pace here, exaggerate your cat back as you wave up through that kneeling plank, elbows hug in, and then pressing back into child's pose. We'll take 3 more rounds here, moving through Chakravakasana. So, warming up our spine, building that strength for Chaturanga. And then when you are ready, meeting in Balasana, in our child's pose. So maybe taking a wide-legged child's pose, big toes touch, knees come to the edges of the mat as you send your hips back to your heels, walking your hands out in front of you. Just taking a couple of deep breaths here, maybe cultivating our Ujjayi breath, our ocean wave breath. Hearing the sound of the ocean waves with each inhale and each exhale. Just letting the wave of breath wash over your body. Remembering that this pose is our resting pose. And you can come here at any time throughout your practice. Well, let's take one more full inhale, full exhale. Walking your hands out in front of you and over to the right side as you actively press that left hip away. Place your left hand on top of your right. And then coming back through center and over to the left. And then back through center as we Tuck our toes under, lift your knees an inch or two off of the mat. Pause here. If you want, you can release your knees back down and then lift it up. If you want to add a little bit more, shift your weight forward over the tips of your toes. Just feel that tapas, that heat building in your solar plexus. And then when you're ready, lift your hips up into downward facing dog, our inverted V. So pedal your heels into the mat. Picture that V shape that you're making with your body as you lift your hips up. And then lift up onto all 10 toes, and then press your heels back down. And bend both of your legs, bring your chest towards your thighs, and straighten. Lifting up onto your toes as you send your weight forward into your plank or kneeling plank, and then back up into downward dog. So make this practice your own as you move through here, building strength and flexibility. You can always take your kneeling plank and your child's pose in between. If you wanted to add more, taking a 3-leg down dog, and you could add your push-up. So we'll just do another breath or two here. And then as you are ready, meeting in our plank or kneeling plank. So strong in that plank pose, engaged, elbows down. Lifting up into cobra, keep a soft bend in your arms. Release back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale as you lift up, lengthen your low back, and then release down 1 more time. And then pressing up and back into our child's pose, maybe taking a different variation of child's pose so you can have knees to the edges of the mat or knees together. Arms can be out front or by your sides. One more breath here. And then making our way into our downward facing dog. We'll take 3 deep breaths in that downward dog. And then once you've taken those 3 deep breaths, making your way into our forward fold, Uttanasana. So walking your feet forward to your hands or your hands back to your feet, and keep a soft bend in your legs here. So maybe add a little sway with your arms, maybe circle your hands and your wrists. Just letting everything go. Energetically, our forward folds are calming to our bodies and our minds. And let's bend both of our legs, bringing our chest towards our thighs, and then straighten. Again, bend both legs and straighten. 1 more time, bending both legs. So we bring our hands to our heart, sitting back into Utkatasana, into our chair. So sit back as much or as little as you'd like. Weight is in your heels, so you can see your toes. And then adding on, if you'd like, reaching your arms out in front of you. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold, and bending both legs, lifting up into our chair. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, lifting up, Utkatasana. 1 more time. And then bringing our hands to our heart, taking a mini twist to the right. Keep your knees level and hips level. Come back to center, mini twist. And knees and hips are level. Come back to center. Now hinging forward, maybe taking that twist a little bit further outside of your elbow to the outside of your knee. You could always split your hands, maybe taking a half bind or a full bind if it's in your practice. And then coming back to center, straighten your legs, and then bend, taking that twist to the other variation that you, cleansing our bodies in our twists, helping our circulation and our digestion. And then we'll release, straighten your legs, reach for your elbows, gentle rock. And then slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time, slowly as you can, meeting in Tadasana. Standing tall and strong in our mountain pose. Inhale, reaching arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Meeting in our downward facing dog. So you can flow through chaturanga or come right to that downward dog. You're taking your chaturanga plank or kneeling plank as you lower down, cobra or up dog, and then meeting in our downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky. And then bend at your knee, kick your heel back, open up your right hip and side. Straighten your leg, move through your plank, and then stepping your right foot through, left heel plants as we lift up into Virabhadrasana 1 in our Warrior 1. Grounding energy through your back foot and leg as you lift up. And let's straighten our front leg, pull down in our goalpost arms, reaching around, connecting to our breath. Inhale and exhale. We'll do one more. Taking our temple mudra as we lift up and back slightly, and then over to the right side. And coming back up through center, over to the left. And then opening up into Virabhadrasana 2, maybe stepping your feet a little bit wider. Hips are facing the side now in our Warrior 2. Gentle reach forward, find your side angle. So you can stay here, resting your forearm on your thigh. If you want to take it a little bit further, reaching for the inside of your foot, maybe extending that top arm overhead. You can always take a half bind or a full bind if it's in your practice. And then we'll all meet in our Warrior 2. Gentle reach forward and reverse. Taking your left hand to your leg or maybe half bind. Cartwheeling hands down to the mat. Pausing here in our low lunge. So left hand stays down, right hand can reach up for a twist. If you want to add, taking side plank or a kneeling side plank, and then we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Again, flowing through chaturanga or coming right there. Remembering child's pose is always available. Let's take our left leg to the sky. Bend at your knee, kick your heel back, opening up your left hip inside. And then straighten your leg, move through your plank, stepping left foot through, right heel plants. And take your time, find your balance, hips are square to the front of the mat, reaching arms up, relax your neck and your shoulders, so opening through the front of your body. Straighten your front leg, pull down in your goalpost arms, reaching around, connecting to your breath at your pace. And we'll do one more. Really engage your back muscles as you pull down, reaching around, taking our temple mudra as we lift up and back slightly, and then over to the left. Coming back up through center, over to the right. And then opening up into Virabhadrasana 2. So maybe stepping your feet a little bit wider, hips are facing the side. So breathing here, find that balance between effort and ease, sthira and sukha. Reaching forward, finding your fullest expression of side angle for today. So maybe staying here, maybe taking it a little bit further. You can always take that half bind or full bind. And coming back up through our warrior 2, reach and reverse. And then cartwheeling hands down to the mat, pausing here in our low lunge. So as you pause in this lunge, you could stay right here, taking left arm up for a twist, or maybe going for that side plank if you tried it on the other side. And then we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Let's take a couple of deep breaths here, maybe an open mouth exhale or some lion's breath, just releasing some tapas, some heat, cleansing and energizing breath. And then we'll walk our feet to our hands or hands back to your feet. If you can, step on your hands. So bringing your toes to meet your wrists. Little massage for your hands and wrists, as well as helping with our hamstrings, our hips, our back. Just releasing, letting go. And then slowly roll up. We'll take a few circles with our shoulders, just letting go of all that stress and tension that we hold on to in our neck and shoulders. So taking those circles in the other direction. A few arm swings. And then as you pause here in Tadasana, finding peace and stillness, closing your eyes. Maybe just noticing any effects of your practice in your physical body, in your mental and emotional bodies. Observing your breath. So we breathe in and breathe out, echoing your intention on top of your mountain. So we'll take a little balance and then we'll start to make our way back down to the mat. So transfer your weight over into your right foot and leg. So rooting down, engaging in your bandhas. So Mula Bandha, lifting up through your pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha, pulling your navel to your spine as we bring our hands to our heart. And then find your dristi, that point in front of you. We'll start with taking that left foot out and in a few times, establishing our balance. And then as you're ready, open up your knee and your hip. Your toes can stay right here on the mat, or you can place your foot higher above or below your knee. We just want to avoid pressing directly on our knee. And then keeping your hands at your heart, or maybe growing our branches as we reach up and out in Vrikshasana, in our tree pose. Building strength and confidence as you keep your focus on this. Continue a steady breath. The steadier your breath is, the steadier your balance will be. Let's take one more full inhale, full exhale. Bringing our hands back to our heart. You can lift your knee up, maybe circle your foot and ankle, and if you want to add a little bit more, reaching that left arm back. And then go ahead and shake it out, let it go. As we set up for our balance on the other side. So transfer your weight over, root down, engage in your core, find your dristi. And then we'll start with taking that leg out and in a few times. And then as you're ready, opening up in your knee, your hip, taking any variations that you explored on the other side. I am strong. I am balanced. I am confident. One more full breath here. As we bring our hands back to our heart, lifting that knee up, hugging it in, maybe circling your foot and your ankle back. And then we'll release, let it go, shake it out. Meeting in our downward facing dog. So inhale, sweeping arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step or hop, floating through chaturanga or coming right to down dog. Taking your right leg to the sky. Bend at your knee, kick your heel back. If you want to flip, you can flip, pressing hips up. And if we're flipped, we'll unflip and all meet in our pigeon. So taking your right ankle to your left wrist. So you can use your props to support you. You can take reclined pigeon, lying down on your back as well. Just checking in here. Hips are square to the front of the mat. Back leg is straight. Inhale, feel lengthening and creating some space. And then exhale as you slowly walk your hands out in front of you. So take your time here. Pigeon pose is an intense stretch. So maybe you just stay on your forearms, or maybe you bring your head to a blanket or a pillow as you fold forward, or even stacking your hands to rest your forehead on your hands. Keep breathing deeply here as we let go of all that tension and stress that we hold on to in our bodies, in our hips and back especially. And slowly walking your hands up. As you look up, maybe looking in the direction of your foot or reaching for your foot if that feels accessible to you. And then we'll release and meet in our downward facing dog. So last time, flowing through chaturanga or coming right there. Just pedal your heels into the mat once you get there. And then we'll take our left leg to the sky, straight back. And then bending at your knee as you open up that left hip and side. If you flipped on the other side, flipping here, lifting hips up. And then we'll all meet in our pigeon. So left ankle to our right wrist. Again, take your time. Make sure you're in a good alignment here. Hips are square to the mat. Use your props as you need to. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale as you slowly make your way a little bit deeper into this pose. And as you breathe here, focus on sending your breath to those places of tension and tightness. We hold on to our stress and our tension in our bodies in various places. So maybe noticing where those places are for you. Letting go of any physical stress, any mental and emotional stress. As you inhale peace and exhale any worry or anxiety. We'll take one more deep breath here. And slowly coming up as you look up, maybe looking in the direction of your foot or reaching for your foot. And then we'll release and bring our legs around in front of us. Soles of our feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana, into our bound angle. So just rocking a little bit side to side. And then feel anchoring down through your sits bones as you lengthen in your spine. Inhale, exhale, hinging forward with a flat back as long as you can. Maybe gently pressing your elbows into your legs, encouraging your hips to open up. And then letting your head hang and your back round as you fold forward. Slowly coming up as we balance in Navasana in our boat pose. So you can stay right here with your toes on the mat. The important thing is to keep lengthening in your spine and stay lifted through your heart center. So adding on if you'd like, you can bring your legs up to your table. You can release your hands. Any variations here if you want to add some toe taps. To increase the challenge, you can bring your arms out wider or straighten your legs. You want to add a twist. So wherever we are here, just building that strength in our solar plexus chakra and our powerhouse. So one more full breath. And then let's release as we lift our hips up into our reverse table. Releasing your hips back down, extending your legs out in front of you in Dandasana in our staff pose. Feel that your feet are flexed, legs are engaged, core is engaged. Inhale, lifting up, and then exhale as you slowly fold forward, coming into Paschimottanasana. Just relaxing your neck and your shoulders, wherever your hands reach here, whether it's the mat, your legs, your feet. Just keep breathing as we release and let go. And slowly lowering all the way down to the mat. Whole body stretch when you get there. And then hugging your knees in, gentle rock here. Just releasing any tension in your low back and your hips. And then placing your feet on the mat. Lift your hips up into your bridge pose. So feet are parallel, knees and thighs are parallel. Keeping your hips lifted, let's lift our heels. And then release your heels, release your hips. So you hug your knees into your chest. We can reach for our feet, rocking in happy baby. And then go ahead and take your arms out in a T as you drop your knees over to the right side. So you can use your right hand across the outside of your leg. You can take your gaze over your left shoulder. Next inhale lifts us up. And then over to the other side. Again, adding that assist if you'd like. Just taking a few more deep breaths here as we cleanse our bodies in our twists. Maybe thinking of those things that we would like to let go of. Anything that is not serving to you in your mental, physical, emotional bodies. And then hugging your knees into your chest one more time. You can take another inversion if you'd like, taking that bridge pose again, or maybe legs up. If you have shoulder stand or any other inversion in your practice, taking that now. And then any other stretches, adjustments, movements, whatever you need before finding stillness in our final relaxation. I will guide you through a brief Shavasana. So just getting comfortable. Let your feet fall to the edges of the mat. Let your arms come by your side, about a foot out from your body, palms up, open and receiving all the benefits of the work in our practice today. Shavasana is the most important part, where our bodies and our minds can fully restore and renew. As you scan your body one more time, just noticing if you're still holding on to any tension or tightness. Could you be 5 or 10% more comfortable? Soften your jaw. Relax your mouth and your tongue. Let your eyes sink back into their sockets. Maybe noticing any shift in your mental and emotional bodies. since first beginning your practice. Maybe thinking of your intention, carrying that intention with you as you go out into the rest of your day and into the week ahead. Let's take one more deep cleansing breath as we inhale happiness, health, peace, joy, and abundance. And exhale any fear, worry, anxiety, anything that is not serving to you. As you begin to bring movement and awareness back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, maybe circling your wrists and your ankles. And then slowly make your way onto one side and then up to your comfortable seat. As we bring our hands to our heart in Anjali Mudra, feeling love and gratitude for taking the time to honor and nourish our body, mind, and spirit today. Thank you for being here with me and letting me guide your practice. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, friends, for being here with me. Enjoy the rest of your day.